to be living in so many ways. With Tim's cancer being at the stage it's at, which is end stage, stage 3, multiple myeloma with kidney failure. He's giving us an opportunity to walk very closely to death, and it's interesting because I feel so many things about that. On one hand, I feel very hopeful about what's beyond this transition for him. I'm not afraid of that, but I also feel like there's a certain heaviness to death, and when you're this close to it, and someone that you love, that's such an integral part of your life, is dealing with a diagnosis that's considered terminal, it's kind of in your face every single day, almost every waking moment, and can wake you out of a sleep, which it did for me last night. We've been navigating all of the different feelings that our girls are having. I'd say mostly, they're functioning. Emma's back to school this week. She actually was excited about going back to school. But I keep being reminded of the Bible passage, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I just keep feeling that, and I keep feeling that this is the valley of the shadow of death. And I've experienced this valley at other times in my life when maybe a life phase was dying, or a relationship was dying, or I was making a big decision that involved a big shift. But there's something about this that definitely feels like just the weight feels more. I don't fear evil. I've never felt a fear of evil throughout all of this, but I've definitely feared the unknown. And my reading yesterday, I do these daily readings, and the one yesterday was about just really not worrying about tomorrow. And I think fear comes up when we start contemplating things that are beyond our reach, and we try to control them, and then they're out of our grasp, and so we're kind of looking into a future that doesn't even exist yet, so we don't really know what's going to happen when we get there, but we try to control for it now. And I feel like there's value to looking ahead and planning ahead, but there's also tremendous value and wisdom in just staying right here, right now. I think looking ahead can really help to inform the decisions that we make right here, right now, and how we show up in this moment. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking of, we've been talking about a celebration of life and what that might look like, and when that might happen, and how that might happen. And I kind of woke up in the middle of the night just thinking all about that, and kind of thinking into the future and thinking, what if time together is no longer, what do I want this time to look like? What will I look back on this time wishing we had done? What conversations will I wish that I have witnessed, and who would I want to be a part of those? Obviously Tim's an important part of the equation here, and it matters mostly what he wants, but this is really about our whole unit. When you are in a marriage and a family, like this is not a solo journey, it's all of us. And I really keep thinking of the girls and like, what are the memories that I want to hope to have sealed upon their hearts about their dad, if his physical body is no longer here and he's no longer a part of their day-to-day waking life experience. And the other thing that I've been contemplating is heartbreak, because that word has come up many times in people just reflecting on different things that I've posted or just in conversation, that it's heartbreaking. And I've been thinking about that word. Like, it is heartbreaking. And heartbreak in some ways has a negative, like it has a little bit of a negative connotation to it, but I've been just feeling the truth of that. Like, it is heartbreaking. And what is the purpose in heartbreak? What is the purpose in this kind of experience that we're going through, and that, we all go through as human beings, times of heartbreak. And I feel deeply that the purpose in heartbreak, that there's tremendous value in it, and that when our hearts break open, it allows us to let love in to a degree that we couldn't before. It allows us to feel the feelings that we might not have tapped into before. It allows for just a whole kind of depth that we can't know if we remain on the surface of things, if we don't allow our hearts to get broken. And I can feel in this whole journey, like, wanting to protect my daughters from heartbreak. And I also can feel that, at some point, like, already they are growing and deepening because of this experience. And, they're fighting like heck to kind of remain, like, continue to be teenagers and all that involves, to go through those like normal growth hurdles of their teenage years. But there's this tremendous heartbreak in the middle of all that. And I think some people can get super jaded by that and then wall off and close off for the rest of their life. But my prayer is that this heartbreak opens their hearts to the depth of life, the vastness of life, the richness of life, the fullness of life. And that's the ups and the downs, it's the highs and the lows, it's all of the stuff in between. And and I'm also aware that, like, this is their journey. I can't control this for them. I can't determine how this is going to play out in their future. But I believe that we are resilient creatures. We are resilient by design, and we don't go through heartbreak because it's not a part of our design. Like, we go through heartbreak because it is how we are built. I believe we are meant to have our hearts broken, and that there's so much value in all that stems from that. It allows us to feel for one another. It allows us to feel for people going through similar things on the other side of the planet. When we haven't been through heartbreaking experiences, it's really hard to feel compassion and understanding for what other people are going through, because we're numb. We can imagine in our minds, but it's a whole different thing to go through it personally and feel it in the bones of your being, and then to be able to just be present and witness what other people are experiencing. I think when we witness from that place, it means something more. Others can feel it differently than when we do lip service to something. And I don't mean that, if we haven't experienced death, that we can't be present and witness and be there for one another, but or hardship or loss of any kind. But I think all of these hard experiences just deepen our capacity to show up for one another. All right, I don't really have more to say. I just kind of wanted to talk about those things. So at this point, I'm going to hang up and keep driving.